All right, welcome back. I just wanted to give a little video update here on a few things I purchased recently and just a few things that I've been doing here the past couple weeks. I had a video recorded and uploaded, not uploaded, but had a video recorded when I went to look at it on the computer. It was all out of focus. I don't know what happened. I was using my Olympus EM1 Mark III and using the phone to control it. I'm using my Z7 Mark II now. Nikon Z7 II, Z7 version 2, just to make sure that you understand, the newer Z7, and 4K 24p, and I'm using the phone to control it. I can see the eye detect box on my eye, and it's hot out here, hot and humid, so I'm a little bit sweaty. But yeah, I had that video all recorded, and I must have touched the screen on the phone and set a focus point somewhere behind me or whatever, I don't know. But it's a lot easier to do with a Nikon camera for myself, you know, using video infrequently. So anyway, first of all, I'll put this in my pocket and hope it doesn't stop. I'm using the 24-120, the Z-mount 24-120 for this right here, for this video. And I love that lens. It's I've heard other people compare it to the 24-70 f4S lens from Nikon, the Z-mount lens, because that's also a great lens, and I have that and I've had it since I got the original Z7. But this 24-120, the Z-mount, it's outstanding for a 24-120 in a I don't know if you'd technically call it a super zoom, but it's pretty much everything I would need for a vacation, and I just took it on vacation. So that's one thing. First thing I want to say is went to Mackinac Island and Mackinac City and Frankenmuth, Michigan, and also stopped down in Dearborn, Michigan at the Henry Ford Museum, which is a huge place, and they've got this huge outdoor village. You know, it's just like a little town. And Henry Ford had collected all these places like Thomas Edison's labs. He had them disassembled and moved to Michigan there and rebuilt them there. And one of his labs has got like 80% of the original items in it. And for example, there's a chair sitting there that Thomas Edison sat in that chair last time he saw Henry Ford. So I've got a picture of that in my gallery. I'll put a link to the gallery, my Z7 gallery, my 24-120 gallery, and the gallery for this last vacation. So that's it. What I was going to do originally on that other video that I had to throw away was just kind of talk about everything that I have that I use right now, basically probably not the tripod, but everything from the camera, the lenses, all the lenses I have, you know, the three cameras I have, the Z7 II, EM1 Mark III, and the ZFC from Nikon, and all the lenses I have for those. I don't have a ton of lenses. I have probably still more than I need, but you know, a few lenses you just want, like the 75mm f1.8 for a micro four thirds camera. That's a lens you just kind of want. And I hope it's not too windy here because I forgot to bring the little dead cat thing, little windscreen for the Godox wireless mic here. So anyway, I'm gonna do that again sometime, and maybe I'll just have to use my ZFC to record it, or just go over the Olympus again, make sure to figure out what I did. So anyway, this other thing that I'm holding here in my hand is the new Nissin MG60 for Nikon. And if you had paid attention to announcements, Nissin Japan, it's a Japanese company, and also Profoto, Nikon has partnered with both of those to make, I guess, share more information, you know, more technical details, and to make their cameras, especially the mirrorless cameras, more compatible with Nissin flashes and the Profoto flashes. So I rarely use flash, but when I do, I want it to be simple and easy, you know, TTL, and just be able to do some flash exposure compensation. So this makes it really easy. Also has a little built-in video light. Also has a really quick and easy, convenient slave mode. You know, it's got like slave flash and slave digital. Slave digital will be like the where it looks for the pre-flash from a digital camera when you're taking a photo. So if I have like my Godox flash mounted on, it's a TT350N. If I have that mounted on the Z7 II and I turn it down to the lowest setting, you know, like a manual flash, you know, at the very lowest power, so it's like almost putting out no power, no flash for the photo, but that's enough to trigger this Nissin in slave mode. So you can kind of get a little creative with that. Put the Nissin off to the side somewhere. It's got a little shoe that comes with it. It's just a little bit bigger than the TT350N, but it is chunkier because it takes 4 batteries instead of 2. But a really nice screen on the back here. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. It kind of dims down after a few minutes if you're not using it. But really nice screen, little on the back there. And you know, if you change the, I don't know how good, because it's going to try to focus on my eyes, but I'll put it right next to my eyes. But if you change the settings here, you know, you see it change here. It's really nice. I'll do another video on this because there's some things I noticed about this. First of all, it's got a USB-C port under here. There's a little cover on it. So that's nice. You can do firmware updates for it if there are any. I checked their website. There's nothing for it right now, but it's pretty new. They do have some updates for their MG80, and I noticed some of the bug fixes they did was, you know, there's some other compatibility issues, you know, that they updated for the Nikon cameras, for example, but it's a really nice flash. One thing I liked about it was that it turns around all the way to the back, either direction you go. A lot of flashes, you can only go all the way to the back in one direction, like around to the right, but around to the left, you might only get, you know, stop over here instead of all the way around to the back. So that's good for, you know, flash, bounce flash and all that. So anyway, we've got that. Looks like it comes with, does come with that little shoe. So I'm just going to briefly get a tripod mount on a little screw hole in the bottom, and you can put your flash in there. And of course it comes with, like everybody has, their little diffuser cup, if I can get it out of here. That would go on there. And also has, looks like CTO, color temperature orange, a gel, comes with one gel and a little clear cover, I guess, that you would put over that gel. There's a little spot on the back of the case for it. It looks like you probably had to buy more because they only give you that orange gel. But yeah, so that's that. So I'll be talking about my Z7 II now that I've been on a vacation and used it quite a bit. And also the 24-120, used that quite a bit. Well, I used it the whole time on vacation. It was on about 4.5 days, but yeah, it's plenty of time to know how something's going to work. And again, the wind's a little blowing here, but it's behind me, so I'm hoping that's not getting into the microphone. But yeah, I can't really say enough good things about the 24-120 Z-mount lens from Nikon. It's a great lens optically, and if it's not better than the 24-70 f4S, then it's at least as good. And I can't find hardly any chromatic aberration, even on my 35 and my 85 Z-mount lenses, f1.8, those two lenses, the prime lenses. I can find chromatic aberrations, you know, along edges of leaves and stuff in trees like that, depending on the light. But unless it's just built into the profile and it's getting rid of it already, and it's easy to get rid of in Lightroom anyway with just a click or two, whenever it does show up on any other lens. But it's like almost non-existent, and I haven't seen that from any of my other lenses. So it's just a really great lens. And that, I tell you that the half case I bought for this too, I can't remember the name of it. It comes from Korea. Lim, I think, Lims, L-I-M. I can't remember that. I'll put it in the description, or be doing a video about it anyway, unless I already did. I can't remember. But yeah, that works out really well too on my trip. I really loved having that grip on there. And also, if you had seen another video that I did about my straps, the camera straps, that I had switched to Optec, but I ended up switching back. I think I'm probably just going to keep using my Peak Design straps. And the reason is I wear these t-shirts, you know, it's like synthetic material when I'm on vacation when it's hot. It's just a synthetic material, kind of thin, and some like Columbia outdoor, you know, like hot weather shirts. That's kind of a synthetic material, and the strap, you know, the material that it's made out of, the Optec strap, and some of the attachments, because it's not just one long strap like the Peak Design strap. rubbing on the shirt and just kind of messing up that material a little bit. You know, over time I think it just kind of start wearing on my shirts because I have it slung diagonally across me. And the Peak Design strap, just a nice wide, flat, smooth piece of material, and it just works out better that way. So since I'm mostly just carrying the camera around all day anyway, and you know, the concern was with the Peak Design strap, those metal buckles, you know, they could kind of damage the camera in your bag if you're not really careful about keeping those away from the camera when you pack it, or the lenses could scratch up the sides of the lenses. If you care about that, you know, if you're just doing this as a hobby and you want to keep your stuff in good shape for resale later to buy something new to help, you know, fund the new purchase, it matters to me. But for what I use it for, I think the Peak Design strap would just be better. But I think that's it. So that's where I'm just to get caught up where I'm at these days with what I have and anything new I have, and that's it. Yeah, my little giant sequoia tree, which is probably a couple hundred yards away from me, from where I stand right now. It's doing great, and post a little video about that not too long ago, I think. But that's that little guy. He got lost in the mail for like a whole month. That thing was in the mail around Christmas time. Ordered it, came from California, out near where they grow the redwoods. You know, where they grow naturally. There's a nursery out there that grows them. They sell them in little plugs. It was just a little tree, and it was in some soil. You know, a little plug. You know, like peat moss or whatever they grow it in. And that thing was still moist and still alive when it arrived 30 days later. I don't know if it would have survived in summertime like that, but since it was cool, you know, either indoors or outside, you know, wherever it was. But yeah, so it'll probably grow at least a foot or more this year. So it's looking really good. Just hoping it survives now. And I think the other problem I had with my previous giant sequoias that I tried to grow, giant redwoods, is just the location. You know, it needs pretty well drained soil. The soil around here is pretty heavy clay, and so it stays damp in the springtime and winter. So I tried to move it uphill a little bit, kind of keep it in a spot where the water drains off more, and I'm hoping that'll do better. But it is really humid around here also, and in the Midwest, and you know, around the Cincinnati, Ohio area, and I just don't think they like that really high humidity either. I think they like the kind of cooler air, and if it does get hot, they like it nice and dry. They like their feet to be dry, you know, like drained well anyway. Their roots, you know, they don't like to sit in water and be too wet. So I think probably too much moisture killed the other ones, but hopefully this one will do well, and hopefully it'll outlive me. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for now, and hopefully the audio sounded okay. Looks like I'm still recording, so that's good, and I'm still in focus. I'll have to talk to Mr. Olympus about that. But yeah, I really like this, even though I hardly ever use flash. This Nissin, hopefully I've had this in frame. You know, it's probably holding it down here too low based on where I'm seeing myself in the camera. And but I'm going to do another talk just about this flash. But I don't use flash very often. But you know, like I said, I like it to be easy when I do, and I like to have a nice flash. And that TT350N I have from Godox, it's okay, but this is just like another couple levels up. And also it uses 4 batteries instead of 2, and has a really nice quartz bulb in it. So it's rated like 100,000 flashes, and it just from my quick testing, you know, bounce flash and so on, and using some flash exposure compensation and just shooting a few subjects, it's looking really good, and the white balance and everything works out really well. So really like it. All right, well, thanks for watching.